I'm not laddie, but I have a sort of naughty side, and I call it Walrus. And that's because my spirit animal is a walrus. Don't worry, I don't believe in any of this nonsense before I move on. I don't believe in, like, ghosts or any of that. I hate when people say they believe in ghosts, because they always say things like, I saw a ghost at the end of my bed. It's always in a conveniently creepy place, isn't it? No one ever goes, I saw a ghost in Morrison's. I just doesn't... But I was at this house party, and there was this spirit healer there called Janet, and she was so smug. She had a face on her. She looked like she was constantly pissing into a hot tub and getting away with it, you know. So smug. And she's like, I can tell you what your spirit animal is, Joe. It's a walrus. Well, what do I do with this information, Janet? This is useless. And she said, Walrus will talk to you and tell you to do things, and you should listen to that inner voice, to that inner walrus. I shouldn't listen to my inner voice, because it is normally things like, kick that toddler, just a stream of unacceptable things. But she kept saying, listen to the voice. And then she said, I do normally charge for this service. It is normally £30, but as we're at a party, I do it for half price, I do it for 15. I was like, Walrus says you can piss off. But the next day I found this walrus ring online by chance, after searching 4 hours for one. And since I've been wearing it, friends of mine think that it has changed me. They think that I go into myself at social occasions and it's me going, what did you say, Walrus? I didn't possibly kill another prostitute. You know, silly things. But I've noticed that Walrus comes out with real jobs worths. I don't know if you have this in London. In Birmingham, we have an app where you can pay for parking on the app and you don't have to buy a ticket. I tried it for the first time. You put a location code in, put the code in, went into a nearby coffee shop, had just got my coffee, and a parking enforcement officer was next to my car. That's what they call themselves, with his little computer with a pen on a string in case I drop it. Dickhead. I was putting my details in, so I went out to him. I said, I've paid for parking. Look, I've got a receipt on my phone. It was 8 minutes ago. And he looked at it and he went, no, this location code is for Leeds. And I said, well, I've clearly just made a mistake, haven't I? And he went, well, I don't know that, do I? I was like, yes, you do. Because if I'm lying, then what you're suggesting I've done is parked in Leeds and then driven 120 miles in 8 minutes. That's what you're suggesting I've done. I've put it into the computer now. You'll have to complain at the office. It's only 5 minutes down the road. Actually, it's about 3 seconds in my hypercar. Got to the office, met sweaty Sharon. Oh, my God. It was so hot in that office. She looked like a bit of wet scrambled egg in a chair, just so annoyed with life. And she had a thick Brummie accent as well. She was talking to somebody in the back office when I went in. She was going, is that Yao making me a cup of tea, Steve? And then she looked at me and went, the day I hear Steve making me a cup of tea is the day I hear a rocking horse do a plop. That's the weirdest imagery I've ever heard, for a start. And I explained the situation to her, gave her the phone and everything. And she looked at the phone, looked at her computer, back at the phone, and she went, this says Leeds. I know, Sharon, I put the wrong code in. Well, you'll have to complain at the Leeds office. I've not been in Leeds, Sharon. She looks again and she's like, but how did you get here so quickly? You would have had to break the speed limit. I would have had to break the speed of sound, Sharon. So annoyed, so annoyed. I said, is there anyone else I can talk to about this? She said, you could speak to Steve over there. I decided not to speak to Steve for a number of reasons. The main one being he was trying to eat a yoghurt with a pen lid. I just didn't feel like he was competent. You get a sense sometimes, don't you? So in the end, I just had to leave, kept the fine, paid it, still got it to this day. And after I'd left, Walrus was like, you idiot. You could have done anything in there. You could have killed her. The perfect alibi. Where were you when the murder happened? I was in Leeds. I do it in shops as well. I went to Subway recently, Subway sandwiches. Their slogan, up until recently, was where winners eat. You only need to look at the people in Subway to know quite a fluid definition of the word winner, don't they? Most of the people in there can't win custody of their own kids, so I don't know what they're winning. Oh, some Subway fans, and I can feel it. I ordered a salad and a bottle of water, and I got to the till, and the girl said, "Oh, there's a deal on. If you get a cookie with this, the whole thing is cheaper than if you didn't have the cookie." And I said, "Well, I don't want a cookie because I'm trying to be healthy, hence why I'm having a salad. So can I not have the cookie but still have the deal?" And she went, "No, you have to have the cookie. Otherwise, when I count the cookies later, there'll be a discrepancy." That's a big word. "I don't want this cookie. What am I going to do with this cookie?" And she said, "Why don't you give it to somebody in the street?" "Who does that? Do you want a cookie? Like, you mental?" I said, "I don't want this cookie." I said, "Do you want the cookie?" And she went, "Oh, are you sure?" I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Have the cookie. And she's like, "What sort of cookie would you like?" "What sort of cookie would you like?" So I can't decide, you have to decide for me. So I was now trying to guess. I was looking at the cookies. I said, "Do you like white chocolate chips?" And she went, "No, I don't like white chocolate chips." "Do you like M&Ms?" And she went, "Oh, yeah, I quite like M&Ms." So I said, "I'll have an M&M cookie, please." And she went, "Oh, good choice." And then she tried to give it to me. I was like, "Why are you giving it to me? It's yours." And she's like, "Oh, you have to give it back to me as a gift. That's the law." "That's not a law." And I got the cookie, and I paid for it, and I held it in my hand. And Walrus looked up at me. "She's wasted your time here." So I ate the cookie in front of her. Just in one go. I checked the receipt when I got to the door as well. It's 50p more. So I went back to her and said, "Why is it 50p more?" And she went, "Oh, the M&M cookie isn't part of that deal."